Precious souls, every day now is getting more and more exciting and frightening at the same time. Now I'm starting to really understand why they say you can travel without ever leaving your home. Because you can go through moments throughout the day, like, okay, you're in this mode where you're in shopping mode. You gotta go get some groceries, or you meet somebody, or you say when I leave out, I say, hey, boss, make it so I can make a moment for somebody this day. Not tomorrow, because I don't know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Not for yesterday, because that's gone and dead. So, but please do something so I can make a moment for someone. And so he did. So I was able to bless this precious soul. I won't say his name because you shouldn't say people's name on the air, without their permission, especially around here. They call that to the comrades snitcha. Ghetto, niet. What I was just saying in Russian was, in the neighborhoods, snitches or informants to Spetsnaz or the KGB will not be tolerated. That's a good one. One of the precious souls in Germany just yelled out, "Jawohl, jawohl!" Man, there's nothing like having a radio inside here that he just tunes and it's like, hey, you want to hear something? Like, yeah. And he clicks it and you actually hear it just like you hearing this. So today I was talking to my ma Dorothy, and she was explaining some things to me. And at the time she told me, I didn't really understand fully what she meant. Because I called and I talked to her about the Kelly situation. But I don't think I think I deleted that video, and that's before I got this new phone. I mean, if you see the quality on this one, you see the difference. The governor, God bless him, blessed me with this LG Note. It's over $200 phone, like $250 or something. It's high end, really good. And that's a story in itself. I'll make this one real brief. With the other phone I had the Samsung one for like 3 years. Then I finally saved up and I got me a Motorola. Notice what I said. I saved up. I got me a Motorola. I didn't have that Motorola for a week before that thing fell and cracked. And so I still said, well, boss bless it. It still work. We'll still do it. I don't see what I don't have. I won't complain. I'll just press for the mark. Just don't get discouraged. Don't yell. Don't put yourself down. Don't say you're stupid and you never do nothing right. Don't do that. There's a difference between being humble and hating yourself and tearing yourself down. You're supposed to check yourself, and if you're at this level, find out what keys you need to open this new area in your life so you can elevate. You notice how you can actually see that? Because I'm not just, but I'm actually, and now I'm to you. You very, very precious souls. So, I found out, they call it Bible study. I call it guerrilla tactics, because that's how I use them. These precious souls here, I see the way they read this weapon. They read it like how I would read a children's story. But I can't read that. They read their book like how I would read, like Jack and Jill went up the hill. I'm like, how can you read it like that? That's it. I said, look, it's clearly marked. I was like, don't you see it? It's clearly marked. It said you got these letters, then you got these here. That means this is the instruction to make this happen. You follow these steps, this will happen. It don't say follow these steps, and if it takes too long for you, it doesn't work, or it's not valid, or it doesn't have power. Oh man. Oh, does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? Now, this place where I go to my Celebrate Recovery meetings, matter of fact, I'm gonna find one of the flyers, and I'll be right back. Okay, and where was I? Oh yeah. Gotta find that thing. Okay, well, it's I work best when I do these. With me is I work really good by visualizations, because I believe that people should just see it, and then they can take it for what it's worth. They can research it. They can check it out, and find out the information about it on their own. I'm not here to say the way I'm living. My living motion picture now is for everyone. I don't know people's destinies. That's beyond my pay grade. I mean, Lord of Destiny, but I don't know everyone's destiny. I don't even know my own. I'm just actively walking out in it. It's hard to put into words, but all I got saying is art imitate life, or life imitate art. Now my people, my family, my Godson family, they this is where I go every Friday. If you can't read it, it says Celebrate Recovery at City Covenant Church. I'm gonna say this again. I started going to this a year and a half ago. And the first time I saw the pastor of this place, I never actually got to hear him say much out this weapon manual. And that's why I was coming to hear it. But I started going to this, and then they had a pastor's appreciation with him and his first lady, and it was really nice. And I got to share with them. And I told him, I wasn't even yours truly back then. I was just Jamel. I just said, hey. I said, I don't know you, sir, but I want to thank you for what you let the boss do through you in putting a program like this in this building. I said, I don't go to churches, but I'm going to this. And, I told him about when one of the very first precious souls I met, and she made a very, very she made a definite impact in my life, like an impact like the moon hitting the earth. That's the impact she made in my life. And now she's my second mom, and I love her dearly. And well, anyway, make a long story short, I was like, look, if they are not telling you that you're being validated or appreciated and not looked over and assuming that, hey, he's going to just be here permanently, so I don't really got to listen to him this day when they said they go to worship. Which is really, really sad, because you don't know when's the next time you're going to see somebody, if you're going to see that person again. You don't know. People just assume that just because the sun and earth keep going, people assume that their lives or whatnot is just like that. Man is finite. He has an expiration date. That's all life is, folks. It's 2 dates and a dash. It's 2 dates and a dash. That's it. When you get here and when you go. That dash in the middle is what people call life. So this is at, again, City Covenant Church. Now, this was the kind of person I used to date, and this is the kind of stuff I used to do. And thank you, almighty boss, sweet Abba and Master, that I am free from this. Okay. This, if you can't see it, you know what that is. This picture, it says, Best of Detroit. When I looked at it, I didn't see that. I saw this like an hourglass, like sand running down, and it said Beast in Detroit. Like, this is the spirit, the whatever that's high principality. This is what it looks like spiritually. And this was the kind of people I was around earlier in my walk. I was actively with people like this in a coven. Yeah, in a coven, a real coven. I was dating a Wiccan at the time, but I didn't know she was a Wiccan. I didn't know anything about white magic, black magic, conjuring, spiritual manifestation, interdimensional teleportation, perversions, blood magic, sex magic. I didn't know any about none of all this stuff. I didn't. And I met her. I was at a fast food job, and she came through the drive-through, and I was pretending like I was playing the keys when I was ringing it all up and clicking. And she came by, I said, your total is such and such, ma'am. And I wasn't even looking at it. I was ringing it up, and I had my hand out, and like I put my hand out, and I said, I wouldn't touch it. I said, okay, you gave me $5.06 and some change. And then she said, whoa, what did you just do? I said, what do you mean? She said, you just told me how much money I gave you. I said, yeah, you handed me the money. What's your deal, lady? And she had all these like shiny things on. I didn't know then what they were, talismans and crystals, and but she looked real different. She didn't look odd. She just looked kind of peculiar, real pretty, real pale. Eyes looked like the blue sky, and hair jet black, and she had like this kind of rouge here, and her nails were like a deep dark purple with red sprinkles in it. She looked fascinating to me. I was like, wow. I was like, holy shit, I'm looking at Morticia Addams. And I said, well, my name, my name isn't Gomez, but it's Jemez, and that's close enough, man. And she looked at me and she said, oh, you're such a cute soul. She said, you're such a cute soul. You're so bubbly. And she said, what kind of magic do you practice? And I thought to myself, I looked at the time. I was like, no. Yeah, because we was worked late. I said, no, it ain't about 1:20. She can't be. I know she ain't drunk. I can't smell no alcohol on her. I'm like, I don't smell no weed. And I'm looking at her eyes, trying to see if her pupils are dilated. You know how you can tell somebody, you can just look at their eyes and they look all strained, like, and then they're straining to see it. And you're like, oh, their pupils are really dilated. And I said, I don't practice magic, And she said, you don't. And I said, ooh, now I got an opportunity to hit it with something. I was like, no, but I can weave some black magic on you, if you know what I mean. And she said, Here, give me your number. So I gave her my number. I gave her her food, and I didn't think no more about it. I didn't think no more about it. And I remember I got my check, and I bought 240s, and I was drinking shit. What was that shit I was drinking? Molson Ice. I was drinking Molson Ice by the 40s, a big green. Oh God! And I said, I got home to my apartment, and I said, put my 40s in there, and I had my smokes, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do something. And then someone was like, why don't you gonna go up to the street, go get yourself a drink? And I was like, why? I said, I just got off work. I got 2 cold 40s in here, a couple of chalupas, couple of chalupas, some ginger ale, pack of pokes. I'm in. I'm good. I'm good for the night. I don't need to go out nowhere. I wasn't working for the boss then. The boss was in my life actively. I just couldn't see him back then. Couldn't actually see him. I can see him now all the times he was there. Thank you for that too, boss. So grateful. So grateful. And so I was like, I kept trying to sit, and I couldn't sit still. It was like I couldn't sit still. I was like, it's like my mind started racing. And I was like, it's like, why don't you go up to this bar? Go on up there, get yourself some fresh air. I was like, I didn't know then I was suffering from anxiety, but this wasn't this was not an anxiety attack. I know the difference now. And it was like it was something wouldn't leave me alone. I said, all right, then fuck it. And maybe I do need some fresh air. And I ain't sang karaoke, which I love to do. I said, I ain't sang that in a while. Maybe I go up there and might meet a broad. This is what I'm saying. Before I leave my apartment, they might have karaoke up there. Give me some fresh air, and I might meet a broad. I go up there. What did I get? I got Johnny Vegas's. Those are my shit back then. Johnny Vegas's and Blue Motherfuckers and Incredible Hulks and Jaeger bombs. Oh man, those Jaeger bombs. Old ways, old days, dead and gone. Bang bang. So I'm sitting there, and I took my first shot, and I was about to take my second one, and I went to reach it, and I didn't have none of this. My hand was like this, thin. And I went for my shot, and I felt something cold on my hand. I turned, and it was her. I mean, it was her. Like, I went, I got the shots. I said, I hear it. I got the shots. The bartender gave it to me. I go, boom. About to light up. I mean, this is in real time, just like this. That fast. And when I hit it, I felt something cold. I was like, now look, it was her. I mean, it was her. And she was looking at me like how this lady's eyes looking at it. Like, look at this lady's eyes. Like, look at these things. I mean, seriously, look at it. Those aren't eyes. You see how that looks like you looking inside, like her face is a house and her eyes are like the windows? You see how that actually looks? I want y'all to really see it. I'm putting all my energy into it now so you can actually really see it for what it is. And really see how the hair is styled. And see how it's styled like snakes. And if you start looking at it closer, you'll start seeing a move. So this is what's next to me. And I'm like, silly goose. I'm like, oh, what a stroke of luck. Stroke of nothing. And I didn't understand it when she said it, but she was like, she said I was almost giving up on my frequency. And I was like, what? Like, I thought, and the first thing I heard when she said I almost gave up on my frequency, what I heard was do you like Jodeci's Freaking You so we can start freaking me? I was like, oh yeah, yeah. And then she was like, she said I was getting I was getting disgusted and discouraged. I was like, why? She was like, I've never had somebody take over 2 hours to come. I was like, what? You know, like, and she said, I waited. I was like, she was like, she said, most of them, at the most, it's 30 minutes. And then when they come in, they're sweating. Because the feelings on them that strong that I pulled them to me. Now, she's saying all this to me. I can recall it now. At the time she's saying to me, I'm not listening to a word she's saying. I'm not. I'm looking at her jewelry. I'm looking at her lips. I'm looking at her eyes. I'm looking at everything about her like, oh, I can't wait to kiss this. So she's up here telling me all this, and that's where my mind is. And then she was like, you want to go back to my place? And that's all I heard. That lets you know where a guy's mind is in that state. She going, all this, like, I'm hearing this, like, wah, 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 wah. Do you want to go to my place? Huh? Like, yeah! You know, like, boom, I'm back up. Oh, Lord. I went back to the place, make a long story short, that began my road towards the dark side. But, and this was my life too. Like, I was, I remember when I first got this weapon, I would look at it just like this, because people would come by and they would read out of it. You know, they would read out of it like, they read out of it like this. Let me see what it turned to. Let me turn down this biohazard. Oh, wow, wow, wow. This is the weapon my grandma gave me, and she's still alive. She's about 100 years old. And it's turned to here. Chamber Ezekiel, the living creatures and the glory of the Lord. In the 30th year, in the 4th month of 5th day, while I was among the exiles of the Kibar River, I saw heavens were open and I saw visions of God. On the 5th of the month, it was the 5th year of exile of King Jehoiachin. The word of the Lord came to Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, by the Kibar River in the land of the Babylons. There the hand of the Lord was upon him. I looked and I saw a windstorm coming out of the north, an immense cloud with flashing lightning, and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal, and in the fire was like 4 living creatures. In appearance their form was that of a man, but each one of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight, their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed like burnished bronze. Under their wings, on their 4 sides, they had the hands of the man. All 4 of them had faces and wings, and the wings touched one another. Each one of them went straight ahead. They did not turn as they moved. Now y'all know what my song name is. This my spiritual song code name is. It's 12 wings. Now y'all just seen me pick this up, so I didn't like plan this, you know. And I gotta quit cussing, but I don't funny plan this stuff. I don't. So I'm gonna get in some more promos. This is the ticket from Carter and Cody Season 2 premiere event. It was at the Ford Community Performing Arts Theater. It's a V Sharp production presented that, and you can find them on Instagram under Carter and Cody, and you know they'll come up. And so please give those precious souls some support. And this was I'm gonna put it in there. This group is called praise in silence at its community. The Community Mind Ministry presents. Says young people in spiritual warfare. Ephesians 6:13. City Covenant Church 15624 South Detroit, Michigan 48223. Now this was $5. This cost me $25. So was this one that cost more money more important than this one that costs less? Maybe to some. Not to yours truly. I look at them equally the same. And I'm even that, you know, somebody would say, I would hear people go here and say they were like bragging on the price of the tickets they paid. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, boss, am I really hearing this? He's like, yeah. You hear that stupid shit? I was like, why are they getting happy about blowing the opportunities to make moments in people's lives to see something that ain't gonna encourage somebody? Let me tell you something. When I was in them with covens and doing that, I didn't go out and do anything unless it benefited me at their expense. Because my self-image back then was totally chainsawed. Totally chainsawed. I mean, I used to, my mom, Cooper would like, are you going to quit breaking the mirrors wherever you go? That's how bad my image was. Like, when I saw that movie Mask with Cher, that movie touched my life more than I even realized. Because when that movie came out, I remember right after that, that's when the kids started calling me that. Like Mask and Mr. Monster Face and all that, you know, all that shit. And then I saw the movie, and when I looked at it, I saw him with the same complexion as me. I mean, I actually saw my face look like that. And I had that image. So, this is how powerful what you think and how you see yourself will physically manifest in what you perceive to be reality. Since that was the image that I accepted to be put upon me, that image became me and I became that. I can't read this like a story. I can't. The artillery and ammunition inside of this weapon works. It's no different to me than if I had one of them if I had something like a Tobin Spirit Guide or any of the volumes, fleshbound volumes about necromancy and conjuring and doing ectoplasm, shit like that. I read it just the same, but this one is way more powerful. Way more powerful. Way more powerful. In my other books I used to have, which when I started reading stories, when the boss was here on physical form, walking the earth, and after he ate the disciples, you would see these guys, they said they would burn their books. And they said they were very expensive. So this stuff has been around for a long time. This shit has been around way before yours truly. Way before you way before your grandma and her great, great, great. You get the picture. There is nothing new under the sun, folks. It's just repackaged. That's all it is. There's nothing new. There were wizards, warlocks, and all that stuff then. When he sent my boy Mo with that staff, bless his precious heart, with the had that problem with stuttering, I know how that feels. You're embarrassed and you're ashamed at the same time, but you didn't cause your condition. You were born into it, but yet you feel that, oh, let this deliver people. Yet you feel that it's somehow your fault. You must have done something wrong. You must have upset the boss in some way, and now you gonna live your life through this, paying your pittance for suffering. That's called bondage. This employer says what he means, and he means what he says. I don't have no reason to lie. I'm not getting anything yet from these. After I get baptized and be ordained, all I would want is like maybe, some networking, so I can find me some people I can marry, or, I even try to find me someone so I can do a bar mitzvah, or a funeral. I really like doing funerals. Sorry, I am still kind of morbid and a little bit. And that's all I would ask, just pay it forward. Say, hey, this guy, he's got a show, and and now you got is call it restoration. You want to go out and do weddings, check them out. That's it. And the books I write, I'm giving them away. Because I know how his kingdom works. His kingdom works the opposite of the kingdom in this world. The kingdom in this world operates by take, hoard, greed, give me more. And when you do that, that means you're dead. Just like that, people think it's a story, but I read it like a reconnaissance report. Like these, what they call Psalms, I read them like reconnaissance reports. I heard this lady, she was saying a story about this man, and the way she said it, and I said, so you're telling me under surveillance, the angelic sentinel to this subject noticed how they were hoarding the energy and not giving it back out to the system, correct? And they thought they would have another cycle of programming to do the same thing. That's right. But that was the time they were supposed to go back to the mainframe. You got it. That's how I read this stuff. Because that's just what happened. He was like, oh, I'm full. Getting ahead. Another girl in the bed. Living the life. Can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah. And then he says, you fool! This night, your soul is required of thee. But